Hello everyone, welcome back once again. Now that we have our xcode to download, let's go ahead and open it. And when you open your xcode, this is what you'll see. And now let's go to File and go to New, and we'll go to Playground. And we're going to name this, we're going to do blank playground, and we'll go Next. And this playground, let's name it Variables and Constants. And we're going to save it as a desktop. So what is a playground? Playground is an interactive and a lightweight environment that allows developers to experiment, prototype, and test codes quickly without the need to create full-fledged application. It's primarily used for learning, exploring new ideas, and trying out Swift code or Objective-C code in an interactive manner. If you're new here, please do me a favor and poke the subscribe button, ring the bell like you mean it. Let's send some positive vibe to the YouTube algorithm. Now that we have our playground open, I'll go ahead and add it. So the double forward slashes is for adding comment in the source code. Comment are non-executable lines of text that provide explanation, note, or documentation about the code. They are meant for developers to read and understand the code, but are ignored by the compiler and do not affect the actual execution of the program. When you add comment using this double slash forward in your code, everything after the double slash is considered a comment and is not executed by the compiler. This allows you to provide concept, describe the purpose of specific code blocks, and leave reminders for yourself or other developers who may be working on the project. So now import UI kit. Import here means to include something in your file. So it means we have to import the UI kit. So the UI kit just basically means to include the UI library. So for example, if you click on the command and hit this and then jump to definition, you'll be able to see a lot of libraries that is provided for our xcode. So for example, UI collection view, UI collection layout list, all of that is included here. And in the next line, you can see var greetings equals to hello playground. So this simply means we're telling xcode to store a variable, to create a variable greetings to store hello playground. And if we click on here to execute it, you will be to run it, you'll be able to see hello playground run here. So you know, as in my previous lesson, I was able to explain what variable is and also what constant is. So variable simply means it's a container that holds hello playground. Another way that we can write is we can write variable of str. So here we are telling xcode to create a variable of type string hello world. So if we run it, you will see the hello world here. Another way that we can also do is str equals to my name is DAMALIE. And if you run it here, you will be able to see it. Also, we can say str equals to and str1 plus 1 equals to 2, and if we run it, you'll be able to see it here. Now let's create a constant. So let's str, we already have str here, so let's say str2 of a type So as you can see, let str string equals to hello James. When we run it, you can see hello James is run here. But also what we can know is let it declares it's a constant. So for example, if we go str2 str2 equals to, let's say, hi Jane, hi Jamie, and when we run it, it will give us an error because it's you can change a constant when you declare a constant. Now let's add some comments to the code. So we're gonna go ahead. So this is constant. So now since we already played with some strings, let's play with some numbers or some integers. So let's say let number of type integer equals to 10, and if we run it, you'll see the 10 here. So this is a constant also. Just so you know, also we can remove the integer and just say let number equals to 10, and if we run it, it will still give us the same result as 10. As you know, Swift is smart enough to know that number is of the type of an integer. So, and if you run it, it will give us 10 as well, which is correct. Let me create another example. Let pi of type So let's say let pi equals to of type double 3.1412, and if we run it, we will be able to get a answer. But so we're telling xcode this is double because it's a decimal, you know, that 3.14. So if, for example, if we do this of a type integer, it will not run. It will give us an it will give us an error. It will still give us an error. Cannot convert value of type double to specialized type int, so it will give us an error. And then another way also is we're telling xcode that this is a string, and even if we put double here, it will still give us an error because this is not a string, so it's a double. So if we remove this and we run it, then it will give us a type of a double that we want, and we'll give it 3.142. Now let's create for float. So as you can see, let float of type float equals to 1.5. So as you can see, the main difference between the float and the double is double has more memory, it can store more data, whilst float cannot. So for example, if we go so as you can see, if we run it 1.5999, it will run it to the next decimal point, which is 1.6, as you can see. So double can store more memory, it stores more data, whilst float cannot. So pretty much that's it. Let's take a look at try another example. Let's say let's calculate of type double equals to, let's say, number times let's say pi. And if we try to run this, it will give us an error because this number here, as you can see, the number here is not of a type of double. So what we can do here is we can convert this into double, and because the pi is double and the calculus is also double, we need to convert this number to double before it will be able to run properly. So in order to do this, we will just type double, and then we can put this into bracket, and when we run it, it should be able to work now. So we're creating a constant calc to be able to store double, and if you multiply it with the number times pi, and this is what we have. So let's try another example. Let's say let my string of type string equals to, let's say 4, and when we run it, it gives us, so we have to make this a capital letter for it to run properly. So, and then it gives us our string, which is a test 4. So in order for us to convert this into integer, we have to my string we will put this into bracket, and we have to just bring the int in front, and it should be able to, when we run it, it should be able to run. So in order for us to run it, we have to put exclamation. So we're telling xcode to run it for us because we know it will run. So we're getting an error here because this is supposed to, because it's a string, that's why we get an error. So in order for us to make it run successfully, this has to be my int. Then when we run this should be able to run as, so we're able to convert this string into an integer. So that's how we run it. So how can we reference a code or reference something in our code? So let me just give a comment. We use the left slash into bracket to be able to reference a code. So for example, let's number string of type string equals to, let's say, number is equals to, then we want to make a reference to it, so we'll go ahead and left hash and then into bracket that we'll put our number here. So what we're telling xcode here is we're making a reference to this number, which is 10. So when we're able to run it, so our string is supposed to be caps. So now let's run it. So as you can see, number is 10, so it's equal to 10. We're making reference to this 10 right here. So as you can see, so pretty much how we are able to make a reference to our variables or our constants within the code, so interchangeably.